back. You're watching Prime Property. We're discussing this week the Real Estate Regulator Bill as has been passed by Parliament. We've been discussing the impact of the Real Estate Regulator on ongoing projects. What about new projects? What about new home buyers? Should you buy a property now, or should you wait for states to start enacting their own acts and set up real estate regulators?
There will be 2-3 set of segments that are going to react differently. Currently, what is going to happen is there is a set of developers which are going to really come out aggressively and give some great sweeteners, because they know that after the real estate bill gets implemented, for them to survive is really going to become difficult. For grade A developers, it is a great news, because they are already in line with what most of the things are being suggested. So a new home buyer can easily look at a grade A developer, a developer which has a strong past track record, take advantage of the pricing, so markets are at an all-time low, get a good deal and start taking the decisions. So I think there are going to be a set of new home buyers which will start taking decisions, but there will be a set of new home buyers which will wait for the law to get implemented, because the implementation is also twofold here. Once the law gets passed and it is implemented, then it goes to the states, then the states do their respective changes, etc., and then implement it. So it is not as if the law is going to get implemented immediately, but there are going to be home buyers who need a house immediately, or they want to move in, they are looking at ready to move in apartments. So I think they will start taking decision based on this move, which is obviously leading to positivity.
And Ashwinder, what could be these sweeteners that you're talking about?
See, currently if you look at it, things have become very customized. So the developer is ready to look at what the client needs, obviously within the given ambit and the control that the developer has. So they are looking at prices in Gurgaon, for example, are down by 25%. People are looking at payment plans that suit the client. People are looking at immediate discounts that kind of reduce the overall price of the property. There are a lot of lending institutions which are coming up with structured products that suit the requirement and need of the end user. Developers are collaborating with the mortgage companies to figure out how can they structure a deal together, which is a bundle of the product pricing as well as smart pricing on the mortgage. So a lot of things now are happening on a customized level, rather than just advertising a banner and saying, okay, you get a 10-9-80 scheme, or you get 20% discount, 10% discount, a free kitchen. I think all of this is now a matter of the past, and now it is more about giving customized deals to the developers, and I think this is doing well right now.
And Ashwinder, how do you think that this bill is going to impact prices? Are we going to see any impact on prices right away?
See, I don't see the prices going down. I see the prices remaining, stagnant over the next 3 to 4 quarters. There are going to be certain changes in the prices of Category A developers, branded developers, which have already seen a huge inflow of clients coming into them, because clients have stopped going to, players who do not have a credibility or name in the market. So yes, there might be an increase of 3 to 5% in prices for certain category of developers which have a very strong brand name in the market. However, I definitely see the prices moving in a favorable direction in the next 4 to 6 quarters, because of the supply and demand finally getting matched, because today there is a mismatch between the supply and demand. What is going to happen once the law gets enacted and implemented? There are a host of developers which would find it very difficult to operate in this regulated market. What they will try to do in the meantime or in the interim is to really come out with very aggressive deals, aggressive discounts, and liquidate their inventory before the law gets enacted. So the moment the law gets enacted, there is a set of inventory which will move outside the market, hence restricting the supply. And that is when the supply gets restricted, I see in a period of 4 to 6 quarters that the prices will then start moving a little north, because the demand will start catching up.
So then are you of the view that there's nothing inflationary in this bill, that none of the provisions are inflationary? For example, that 70% lock-in. I ask it is because if you look at that particular provision, the builders will lose fungibility of money and may decide to pass on price hikes to consumers.
There aren't any such provisions in the bill right now, and that is where the developer body is trying to get in touch with the government and say that, currently today the bill looks more lopsided towards the client, which is fine, and they are very happy to ensure that the client confidence is backed and there is somebody who's representing the client. But they also see the law being very stringent on developers, and maybe by default there are certain inflationary pressures that come to a developer. That is why I said that the number of players participating in the market might get reduced once the bill is enacted. And if before that they are able to get some cover on these issues, it will be a boon for them, but I see it's going to be difficult.
Well, I hope that turned out to be handy for all of you new home buyers. With that, time for a short commercial break. On the other side, it's time for Property Doctor, where we get experts to answer your queries.